a look at this.
Brilliant, Martin. Reardon.
Just look at his eyes.
Former head of FBI Terrorist Screening Operations Centre, and he's now a security consultant and joins me from Doha by Skype. Martin Reardon, good afternoon to you. Good to talk to you. What are your suspicions about the people behind this, whether they were French-based or whether they came in simply to carry out what appeared to be a well-planned operation?
Well, two things. First, as far as the French base, I think some of the initial reporting is that the terrorists were speaking some French, and I think just
oh my God, do you actually see that?
Sites that were attacked.
Oh my God.
They would have been French citizens, or at least having been in France for some time. As far as responsibility, yes, Islamic State did claim responsibility.
His eyes go very blue at the beginning, and then they change to pitch black.
A number of attacks where later on it comes out that they were not involved. It's too early to tell. I think if it's not actually directed from abroad, either Al-Qaeda or Islamic State, I think a homegrown group or a local cell could certainly have been influenced by one of the many messages that Islamic State has sent out globally, and Al-Qaeda, most recently 2 weeks ago,
oh my God, you see that again?
Calling for its followers to attack targets in the West. Simple attacks. The Islamic State message a year ago specifically named France.
If you look very clearly,
as one of the 4 countries
it'll morph into a slit. And it changed back to blue again.
What about the scale, the ambition of this series of attacks? What does that tell you? Are we moving into a new phase?
But he blinks it away, and then his iris goes back to normal.
I think something that you've seen in other countries that you're going to very possibly start seeing more in Europe, North America, even in Asia. This was a well-planned, well-coordinated attack.
Oh my God.
You don't hit 6 targets simultaneously or near simultaneously without doing a considerable amount of pre-attack planning. They would have had to go to the different sites, particularly the stadium and also the concert hall, to see
NWO, guys, NWO.
Where they can gain control the easiest. The other targets, simple selection. But when you look at the tactics that were used, in most terrorist attacks, it's one of several different tactics. It could be a suicide bombing, it could be a drive-by shooting, it could be a takeover of a public venue.
It goes blue again.
In this particular case, we saw
blue again.
At least 7 suicide
black.
bombings, a drive-by
just
shooting,
like that.
and then, of course, the takeover of the concert hall, where most of the victims were killed. So all 3 different terrorist tactics that were used very effectively.
Do you think targets were meant to deliver a